Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Art of Storytelling 2, presented by myself versus Wiser Now and John Doe. Now, the Art of Storytelling Part 2 will be the creation of the league, the CPFL, which stands for Created Player Football League. It will be made up of all the best created players on YouTube, and you yourself have the opportunity to be a part of it. The three commentators, myself, Wiser, and John Doe, will broadcast league games on our three separate channels. This year we will focus on the Pac-12. It is a custom Pac-12. As you can see, each commentator will maintain 4 separate teams. However, because all 12 teams are in the same conference, all 12 teams will play each other, and all 12 teams will appear on all 3 channels. To give you an idea, for example, on my channel, I will maintain Oregon, Missouri, Florida, and Texas Tech. Because our game schedules will be every Monday and Thursday, in an effort to rapidly progress the season, Monday will be week 1, Thursday will be week 2. So every Monday and every Thursday, on all 3 channels, we will be broadcasting games. And because how we will be progressing the week, despite whether or not your game is being shown as the game of the week, you still need to watch the game. Because at the end of every game, we will show all stats for that week. For example, if Oregon plays on my channel on Monday and your player is on the Gators, you need to watch the Oregon game. Because at the end of the game, and because we're all in the same dynasty, we will show all stats for week 1 at the end of every game. Whether or not your team is the actual game being shown, you will get the stats nonetheless of the team that you're on. So you need to make sure, 1, you subscribe to all 3 channels because your team will be played on all 3 channels. And because we're all in the same dynasty and in the same conference, every game you see will either be your game or a rivalry game because every team in the conference is your opponent. Now, how to join a team. In order to join a team, you must send a PM, a personal message, to the commentator who is maintaining that team. For example, if you would like to play for Oregon, Texas Tech, Missouri, or Florida, you need to send myself a personal message. And likewise, if you'd like to play for Boise State, Arizona State, Rutgers, or Michigan, you need to send a PM to Wiser because he will maintain those teams. And if you like to play for South Florida, Georgia, Miami, or Baylor, you need to send a personal message to John Doe. Now, just because we're focusing on these 12 teams does not mean that these are the only 12 teams that you can play for. You can play for any team, and we will add you to any team. However, it is more likely that your games will be shown and your highlights will be shown if you join one of these 12 teams. Now, what you need in this personal message is the following. You need a first name, because your last name will be your YouTube channel name. It will be easy to identify you for the point system later on. But you need a first name, your last name will be your YouTube channel name. You need to list equipment, height, weight, and give 5 possible options for a jersey number, because this is important. It is a first come, first served basis here. And you also need to list your position. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and defensive back positions will fill very quickly. So again, first come, first served basis. If you're even on the fence about joining this league, you need to think quickly, because once a position is taken, it is taken, and every player will begin as a freshman, because we will go into multiple seasons with this league, and any stats and attributes, which I will talk about in a moment, will carry over from season to season. So that is how you join a team. That is what you need to list, and you see who you need to list these things to onto the point system, because there is a new point system. Since every player will begin with all attributes set to 50, each time your team wins, 10 points will be added to 5 separate categories. For example, once your team wins, let's say it's week 1 and you play for Oregon and your team won the game, what you need to do is, after you watch the video, you send the commentator in charge maintaining your team, you send them a personal message listing the 5 categories of which area you want your 10 points awarded to. So you can say agility, acceleration, speed, catching, jumping. You can list 5, and we will make the necessary adjustments to your individual player. Now, if your team loses a game, we will deduct 10 points in 5 different categories. Your players will progress and they will regress. No players will reach a 90 overall and stay at a 90 overall. Every week, all players' attributes will fluctuate depending on how the team is doing. So 10 points in 5 separate categories if you win, 10 points deducted in 5 separate categories if you lose. If you win, you get to select the 5 separate categories. If you lose, we select the 5 separate categories in an effort to keep your player in the team competitive. If you play for an unranked team, let's say you play for Texas Tech, and Texas Tech happens to beat Georgia, we will double your points. We will double the points awarded to you. So instead of being awarded 10 points in 5 separate categories, which equals to 50 points, you will be awarded a total of 100 points. 10 points in 10 separate categories. We will keep it 10 points to prevent players from trying to add all 50 to, let's say, speed. And after week 1, their player has 99 speed. We're not going to have that in this league. So we double the points if you beat a ranked team, and we double the points taken away if your team is a ranked team and they lose to an unranked team. This now creates big games in the league. These will be the big games and the most watched games. Now we're going to begin the league October 8th, which is next Monday. So what you need to do is get your player created and secure your position. Remember, first come, first serve. And the more people that catch wind of this league, the more people that are going to want to join. So get your player created, join a team, and the season kicks off on Monday. And on Monday, after the first game, we will release the team schedule. So it'll give you a heads up on which channel your game will be played and on what day. The point system, the schedules, all of this information will be in the description of every game. So in case you don't remember or you're a new subscriber and you want to join, we will post all the important information and the links to all 3 channels in the description of every game. And let's all get ready for a fantastic week 1, which starts Monday, October 8th.